Hey, hey rock stars. This is Carla DeRosa on day 7 of our spring clean cleanse. So we're doing this thing for 21 days. So this is day 7. So we actually got through a week. So it's been going really well for me. People have been joining the spring clean cleanse every day. And so I have more and more people to play with. This is really good because I was going to do this anyway. Winter time is the time that I tend to veer from my raw track. Definitely like hot food more in the winter time. And I start to, hibernate, less activity. Also just start to, pick up that insulation and realize it, right? From over the holidays and all that good stuff. So the 21-day spring clean cleanse is our remedy for that. So I'm doing the same thing with my house, pulling stuff out of corners, everywhere, cobwebs, just cleaning up every day, pulling out, doing some deep cleaning. Same thing with my body. So this is day 7. So I actually lost a ½ inch on my waist, and I was 172, and now today the scale said 165. So that's 7 pounds in 7 days. So that's a pound a day. And remember, weight was not my goal. I actually don't want to lose weight. I want to keep my curves as much as possible, but I do want to lose a little bit off my waist. I want to lose 3, I think was my goal. And so I have a ½ inch. What's going to help that a lot is my colon cleansing. I've been doing my colon cleansing every other day at home with my Kalima board, doing about 2 to 3 gallons every other day. And that's been helping because, as we've talked about, we carry a lot of stuff in our colon. The colon is very long, so a lot of stuff gets in there and, slows down our metabolism. And the sad thing about it is we keep reabsorbing it. So it's very important to get your water in, half your body weight in ounces every day. And so that's it. Let's move on. So day 7, I want to do a recipe demo for you. So I want to do pesto because I had some basil that had its prettier days, but I just can't throw it away. So we're going to use this basil. It's a little bit sleepy, but we're going to use it. It's going to be fine. It's going to taste good in the pesto. It just doesn't look as good as when it was so bright, like a bouquet of flowers. So I'm going to make pesto sauce to put over these carrot noodles. And, oh, Kasha, come here for a second. I just noticed I didn't turn on my light. It's a little bit dark. Kasha, can you turn on the light, please? So what I have here is a fat carrot. So a fat carrot is better when you're doing your, when you're doing your noodles. So, and this is just a regular old potato peeler. I mean, this is not even like a fancy one. And so you just want to watch your fingers to make sure you don't peel your fingers. And you just peel your noodle, and they're very thin. So, carrot sticks are hard. You bite into a carrot, it's like crunch. But when you shave them with the potato peeler, they become very thin, pliable noodles. So I made a bowl here of carrot noodles. So that's going to be our pasta. So, I don't know, this is like 3 fat carrots that I did. So it took me about 5 minutes. Just watch your fingers. So we're going to do the pesto in my blender. So this is my Vitamix. This is the 750 series. So it's a newer one. I have a 5200, which is the older one with the skinnier canister. The 750 is wider to be more like a food processor, to have a wider base. Oh, I forgot something. Kasha, can you give me the pink Himalayan salt? So our ingredients for our pesto is our basil. And so I'm just going to start putting that in. So basil is, is a great bitter herb. Sometimes it has a lot of sand on it. Now I'm not going to take all the stems off, but I do want mostly leaves. Some people just go through and take all the stems out. I don't. I leave a whole lot of the stems in, but I want mostly leaves. Oh, thanks, baby. Just put it down. Thank you. So I'm going to use all my pesto because I can always put it in a jar. It keeps a long time because it has a lot of garlic. And you could also put a little bit of lemon juice in there, and that would help it keep as well. So just taking off the leaves, some stems. But of course, I'm going to keep my stems. And I don't know if you know this, but I keep most of my, so these are the stems that I'm kind of putting to the side. I keep all my food scraps. And what I do is I blend them down and I make soup bases out of them. So there's hardly nothing. Potato skin, not potato skins, because I never peel my potatoes. What I was trying to say was onion skins, garlic skins. See, in the blender, in the Vitamix especially, really what you need is a high horsepower blender, like a 3.5. It's going to pulverize onion skin and garlic skin. But I keep my stems for soup bases, and it makes the soup bases taste so good. Like the other day I had one, it was so rich, it actually tastes like beef broth. And my husband was like, oh, and I was like, no, it's vegan. It just is very rich. And also I put it in a slow cooker and I let it cook for a very long time, so it got really thick. And he was just like, that just looks like beef broth. I mean, it really was like, it was brownish, it was thick. He wasn't really feeling that. All right, so in pesto, of course, you have to have garlic. So I have my peeled garlic here, fresh peeled garlic. And what I would like to say about garlic is like, I was listening to one of my mentors yesterday, Dr. Michael Greger, and he was talking about how it's one of the most aggressive plants in helping to fight cancer. And I really do believe it. I mean, a lot of people, cut up garlic when they feel like they're getting sick. But what if you were just eating garlic every day? Like, we made the soup the other day and it had a bunch of garlic in it. This is going to have a bunch of garlic in it. So if you're eating something with fresh raw garlic every day, the thing about it though is there is a link. There's a white paper on chefs having a higher incidence of ulcerations, gastric ulcerations. And they really pinpointed down to the garlic, like they have that pre-chopped garlic. So, and I don't know exactly what it is because garlic is very antibacterial. So I'm not sure why the chopped up garlic would cause ulcerations in the gastro tract, but I know this, that if you cut an onion and some garlic and just leave them around, they absorb everything, out of the atmosphere. I know that's like a wives' tale, to put a cut up onion or cut up garlic in a baby's room and it'll take the cold and the germs out, but it is true. You don't want to eat onion that's been sitting around. That's why if you cut up an onion, you just want to use the whole thing. Don't try to store it unless you really seal it up. But anyway, so I always like fresh garlic. I used to do the chopped garlic and interchangeably, because it seems economic when it comes in these big jars just for a couple dollars. But go ahead and just get the fresh garlic. I highly recommend that. Just when I'm doing the pesto, I do want to take the skins off because I'm not really going to blend it up. I'm just going to chop it up in the food processor. My assistant left a couple skins on it, but she did a good job. But I don't want to be crunching on these skins. All right, so I got like 5 big pieces of cloves of garlic and then maybe 5 small cloves. So I'm not exactly sure how that is, but we like garlicky pesto. And the other ingredient is some sunflower seeds. So the sunflower seeds have been soaking, because remember all week we've been talking about soaking your nuts. Why? To get the enzyme inhibitor off. Somebody asked us to take away the minerals. No, I'm sure that, there's some runoff of minerals, but you're actually activating. This is the first part of sprouting. So you're actually activating the nutrients in the nuts and seeds, because otherwise they're in hibernation mode. And that's why we soak them, to wake them up. So it's like April showers lead to May flowers. So those flower seeds have this enzyme inhibitor, this coating of a substance that puts them to sleep. The water wakes them up so that they are not growing willy-nilly anytime, you know, during the season. But when they start getting continuous moisture, it's a signal. Same thing, continuous moisture is a signal that it's time to activate and use the nutrients and rinsing off the enzyme inhibitor, which it was a lot on these sunflower seeds. And again, don't worry about the enzyme inhibitor for if you're eating roasted nuts. It doesn't matter, it gets cooked off. I'm talking about people who are raw, eating raw seeds and nuts. The only ones I really don't mess with are chia seeds, because they are tiny and that's a mess. I don't think that's enough enzyme inhibitor to work with. All right, so I got my seeds, I got my garlic. I'm mashing down a little bit. In my food processor slash blender, I'm gonna put a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. So anybody who's ever worked with me knows that I don't like white iodized salt. White iodized salt is not a food. It's only classed as a food because of the iodine, which iodine is essential, but white salt is fired up to like 12,000 degrees. So if you didn't have the iodine in it, it would just really be a poison. And that's why you get the cankles and the swollen wrists when you take in a lot of salt. So if you're not already doing sea salt that has minerals, or Himalayan salt that has 80 to 90 minerals, then please do so immediately. But the good thing about it is, you know, you may be trying to do low sodium, but you'll find that you use a lot less pink Himalayan salt or the Celtic salt or the sea salt. All right, so we're gonna get this party started. Give it a break and look. So that's one of the reasons why I like Vitamix, because it has where it's got the tamper, you know, right in the top, so you don't have to keep opening and digging around. But I wanted to just make sure, like some of these stems might have got stuck. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, one more thing to loosen it up. Kasha, can you bring me some olive oil? I hardly didn't remember anything today. It's a lazy Sunday. But we're going to put just a splash of olive oil to loosen it up. But it really smells good. That garlic, smells so good.
That's good?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, my little baby. She says she doesn't want to be in it. Who's that? Read the names.
Julie.
Julie, hey. You can't see it?
Corey Cole or something.
Okay. Hey, thanks for being on. So that was about 3 tablespoons of organic olive oil, just to kind of loosen it up. Oh yeah. And notice this, I had it on a very low speed because it is a blender, so I'm using it as a food processor, but I don't want it blended up. I'm not trying to have a pesto smoothie. I want to have nice chunks of nuts, well, you know, sunflower seeds, and nice little small pieces of basil, and I have my garlic in here and a little bit of olive oil and my pink Himalayan salt. So just a few ingredients, and so I'm gonna just go ahead and put some over my carrot noodles. And also, while I'm doing that, I don't know if you could see it, but I wanted to show you how I get ready for the week. So this is my veggie tray, and so my kids say they're not raw. Okay, fine. Why do I have to make a tray every day? Because all my veggies are gone. Carrots, these are asparagus tops and then the asparagus bottoms, green beans, and are these sweet potatoes? These are sweet potatoes. So I have some sweet potatoes and yams. Sometimes I get them confused because they're very closely related. But I make my tray pretty much every day. Sometimes I can skip a day, and I put it on top of a container of ice, and I just leave it out for the family to enjoy. Sometimes I'll have some sauces or dips. Like this pesto is great just to leave out. People walk by, grab a carrot, and just dip it in there. So now I just put a little bit, because I don't have a lot of carrot noodles in here. I just put a little bit of carrot noodles. Oh, Kasha, can you bring me a white bowl out of there, please? Yeah, the flat ones, not the tall ones, the flat ones. Wow, I love it. That's how my mom used to do me. My mom would be, I would be in the basement studying, doing my homework, and my mom would be, Carla, come here, come here. And I'd run up, I'm like, what? She's like, hand me the remote. So you want somebody to help you out, unconditionally loving. Yes, Mom. Get you a teenager. I love it.
This one?
No, a little white bowl that we eat out of. Just the white bowl, like where the plates are, right next to the plates.
Okay.
Does she live here? I don't know. All right, so, but we're good. We're ready. So we got our carrot noodle pesto, or our pesto over carrot noodles, all prepared. So I was kind of talking through it, but you can imagine if you were just doing it, it'd probably take about 5 minutes. One of the other things I want to share with you besides my veggie tray is that today we cut the grass. So the first grass cutting of the spring, and I saw like dandelions coming up. So we don't use any pesticides or herbicides or fungicides in our yard because I do like to grow food. Thank you. Who's eating a carrot stick? Kasha. So some people always contact me about foraging. So that is one of the main things that I can identify is some dandelions. And these are young, tender, and so they're not as bitter. And also, it's perfect for our cleanse because dandelions, they get down on your liver. So, I'm going to say that for another day because we could do a lot of talking about cleansing the liver, what to do about the liver. So, I will save that for another day. But I just had those dandelions out there, so I wanted to show you. But here we go. Some carrot noodles with pesto, basil, garlic, seeds, and a little bit of olive oil, ready to go. Thank you, rock stars. I gotta go, I got company. All right, bye-bye.